diving into something a bit different.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's the script of Bee Movie.
Oh, wow.
I gotta admit, when this first came across my desk, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
On what kind of deep dive can you really do on a movie about a talking bee, right?
Well, when I first saw it, I thought the exact same thing.
Okay.
But, even the silliest stories
Right.
can have some surprising insights.
Hmm?
And when we look at Bee Movie,
Yeah.
it actually touches on some pretty big ideas
Okay.
about work and society and humans' relationship with nature.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, I think the opening lines really set the stage for the whole movie.
Okay.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly.
Okay.
Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground.
Hmm.
The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
I love that. It's like this declaration of independence.
Yes.
This refusal to be limited by what other people think.
Exactly.
It makes you want to go out and break some rules yourself.
Yeah. And that idea of challenging the status quo that runs through the whole film.
Interesting.
And it's really interesting when we look at Barry, the main bee.
Yeah.
He's about to graduate and enter the workforce
Uh-huh.
at Honix, a honey production company.
Okay. Familiar.
It's like that whole go to school, get a job, work until you retire thing.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right.
I remember when I first realized that I might be stuck in a cubicle for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And that feeling of being trapped.
Yeah.
Is this all there is?
This script captures that feeling so well.
Yeah.
But it also gives us another point of view through Barry's friend Adam.
Uh-huh.
Now, Adam is perfectly happy
Really?
with the idea of working at Honix forever. He actually sees stability and routine as good things.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, some people love that.
Right.
It's like the film is saying there's no one right way
Yeah.
to approach worker fulfillment.
It's exact.
I mean, some people crave security and routine.
Yes.
And others, like Barry, they want something more.
Right. And we see that tension between what individuals want and what society expects play out in Barry's relationship with his parents.
Oh, yeah. They're obsessed with him becoming a stir at Honix.
They really are.
It's so funny. But I kind of get it. You know, they're like the classic overbearing parents
Totally.
who want their kid to follow a certain path.
You'll be a stir and you'll like it.
Exactly. They just want what's best for him. Right?
Accurate.
I mean, who hasn't felt that pressure to live up to someone else's expectations?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we've got this bee who's feeling trapped by these expectations.
Yeah.
So what happens next? I mean, does he just give in?
Well, not really.
Okay.
The script takes a turn when Barry goes outside the hive for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And the way he describes flight and the world beyond the hive is just amazing. You can really feel his sense of wonder and freedom.
It's got to be exhilarating, right?
It is. It's like suddenly seeing the world from a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
Like breaking free from routine
Wow.
and discovering a whole universe you never knew existed.
Wow.
And through this new perspective, Barry encounters Vanessa, a human florist.
Ah, Vanessa.
Yes.
Their friendship is so sweet.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the movie.
It's a good reminder that connections can pop up in the most unexpected places.
Exactly. And it challenges the ideas both Barry and Vanessa have about each other's worlds.
I see.
Barry learns that not all humans are bad.
Right.
And Vanessa learns to respect the bees and their society.
It's such a great message about bridging divides and finding common ground.
Yes, it is.
But hold on. This is a movie about a bee who soothes humanity.
That's right.
So how do we get from this heartwarming friendship to a courtroom?
Well, it all starts with the tennis ball.
A tennis ball.
Yep. Remember that scene where Barry gets caught up in this tennis match?
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but it also marks a turning point.
Okay.
For Barry, it's a reminder of how different his world is from the human world.
And it's also when he starts to realize how bees are being exploited, right?
Exactly. The tennis ball leads him to the truth about honey.
Okay.
That humans are taking it and selling it for profit.
Yeah.
And that makes Barry feel like something is really wrong.
So that feeling leads him to sue the entire human race.
He does.
I know the courtroom scenes are funny.
Oh, they are.
But there's a deeper message there too, right?
There is.
It's not just about a bee getting his honey back.
No, it's about power and exploiting resources and about challenging those in charge.
I see.
And the film uses humor to talk about these big issues
Right.
and to make them more accessible.
That's really clever.
It is.
So we've gone from Barry feeling trapped in his job
Right.
to seeing the world outside the hive, to taking on humanity in court.
All in the first part of the movie.
Wow, what could possibly happen next? Well, that's where things get really interesting. Because when Barry wins the case, it actually creates a lot of problems.
Oh, no.
It throws the whole ecosystem into chaos.
Oh, wow. Now I really want to hear more about that.
Let's dive into those consequences and how the script explores the interconnectedness of all living things.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so Barry wins his lawsuit.
Okay.
And all the honey is returned to the bees.
Right.
At first, it feels like a victory, you know?
Yeah, justice is served.
Exactly.
The bees are celebrating. They're finally free from human exploitation.
Yeah.
They've got all this honey. What's not to love, right?
Well, here's where the script gets really smart.
Okay.
It starts to look at what happens when you mess with a really complex system.
Okay.
The bees, they've got all this honey now.
Yeah.
So they stop working.
We're bother, right?
They've got everything they need.
But no work, no pollination.
Right.
No pollination, no flowers.
Uh-huh.
No flowers. That's a big problem for the whole ecosystem.
It is. The script uses this simple idea to show us how delicate the balance of nature really is.
I see.
And how everything is connected.
It's a powerful message, like a warning about messing with the natural order, even if you have good intentions.
Exactly.
But it also makes you think, what is the right balance between what humans need and what the natural world needs?
That's a question the script really grapples with. It doesn't give us easy answers,
right?
But it makes us consider how complex our relationship with nature really is.
And we see this play out with Vanessa, too.
Oh, right, Vanessa.
She's a florist.
Yes.
Her whole livelihood depends on flowers.
Uh-huh.
And flowers depend on bees.
Right.
So when the bees stop working,
her
world is turned upside down.
It is. The script is showing us that we're all connected.
We are.
Whether we realize it or not.
And our actions have consequences.
Yes, they do.
Not just for ourselves, but for everything and everyone around us.
Exactly. Now that brings us to another interesting part of the script.
Okay.
The way it portrays celebrity culture.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those scenes in the courtroom with Sting and Ray Liotta?
Oh, yeah. Those are hilarious.
They are.
But they're not just there for laughs.
Right. No, they're not.
I mean, they highlight how absurd it is for a bee to sue all of humanity.
That's true.
But there's more to it than that.
The script is using these celebrities to critique our obsession with fame and how it distracts us from important issues.
It's like the movie is saying, hey, even in the middle of this ecological crisis, we're more worried about celebrity gossip than the planet.
It's a sharp observation, for sure.
It really is. It's like the script is holding up a mirror to society.
It is.
Showing us our flaws.
And our priorities.
Exactly. So Barry, he's caused this disaster.
Yes.
Even though he had good intentions.
Yeah.
So what does he do?
Well, he doesn't give up.
Okay.
And that's what makes this story so hopeful. Barry realizes he made a mistake. And he teams up with Vanessa to try and fix things.
Together.
They know they have to work together.
Across species.
Across species to restore balance to the world.
That's powerful.
It is.
It's like the script is saying, we might make mistakes.
We do.
But we can learn from them.
We can.
And work together.
Yes.
To make things better.
That's right. But how do they actually go about restoring this balance?
Yeah. Do they just force the bees back to work?
Well, that's the interesting part.
Oh, yeah.
They don't use force. Instead, they try to understand the problem.
I see.
Barry realizes that the bees have lost their purpose.
Their connection to the natural world.
Their connection to nature, exactly.
So it's not just about getting them back to work.
No.
It's about helping them rediscover their passion for pollination.
Yes.
Their understanding of why it's important.
Exactly. And that's where the script gets really nuanced.
Okay.
It suggests that real change comes from within. From a change in perspective.
Not from being forced.
Right. It's like the movie is saying you can't just make people do the right thing.
You can't
inspire them.
Right.
Help them see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Help them understand how everything is connected.
And that's what Barry and Vanessa do.
They do.
They remind the bees how beautiful and important their work is. Their role in the ecosystem.
Right.
And that sparks a sense of responsibility.
It does.
And the bees go back to pollination.
They do.
Not because they have to.
No.
But because they understand.
Because they understand exactly.
Wow.
So we've gone from a courtroom drama to an ecological crisis to a story about redemption
and restoration.
All through this talking bee and his human friend.
It's amazing.
It is. And we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's more. The script has a few more surprises up its sleeve.
Okay.
Let's look at how the ending brings everything together.
Okay.
And what messages it leaves us with. So the bees are back to work, the flowers are blooming again, the ecosystem is recovering. It's a happy ending, right?
It seems like it, but I guess things can never really go back to how they were.
Right. The script acknowledges that the world has changed.
Makes sense.
The bees and the humans see each other differently now. They have this new respect for the balance of nature.
Yeah, you can't go through something like that without it changing you.
You can't.
It's like everyone had this wake-up call.
Yeah.
You're like realizing their actions have consequences.
Exactly. And that leads us to one of the most powerful scenes in the film.
Okay.
Barry's visit to the supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when he sees all those honey jars on the shelves?
Oh, yeah. All packaged up for sale.
Branded and marketed for human consumption.
It's heartbreaking, you know?
It is.
The look on Barry's face when he sees how his honey is being sold.
Yeah.
It's like he's seeing the world in a whole new way.
That scene really shows the film's critique of consumerism.
Okay.
It makes us think about the disconnect between the natural world and the things we buy.
We see the honey on the shelves.
Yeah.
But we don't think about where it comes from.
Right.
All the work that goes into making it.
All the ecosystems involved.
It's like the movie is saying, hey, there's a whole world behind these products.
A world we often take for granted.
Yeah. And it's a challenge to be more mindful
Right.
about where things come from.
To think about the impact of our choices.
On the environment and on other living things.
Exactly. We're not just buying products.
We're part of this system.
A system that can be good and bad.
So that brings us back to the ending.
Okay.
Barry and Vanessa, they don't just fix the ecosystem.
Right.
They inspire change in how people think
Yeah. People start to appreciate the bees.
and understand how important they are.
To see honey as something more than just a sweet treat.
To value it as a product of nature.
It's a message of hope and change.
Yeah. Even when things seem impossible,
We can make a difference.
we can create a better world,
And it shows how important understanding and cooperation are.
right? Barry and Vanessa, they're so different,
They are.
but they work together to find solutions
They bridge the gap between their species.
to achieve something amazing
It proves that even the most unlikely allies can do great things
when they work together.
when they have a common purpose.
You know, I really didn't know what to expect when we started this deep dive.
Me neither.
A movie about a talking bee who sues humanity.
It did sound pretty wild.
I thought it would be a fun, silly adventure.
Yeah.
But it's so much deeper than that.
It really is. It shows the power of stories. Even fantastical ones can reflect our own lives.
And our values.
Our relationship with the world.
Bee movie is funny. It's
Yeah.
heartwarming.
Uh-huh.
It makes you think.
It does.
It stays with you
It makes you think differently about your place in the world.
about the impact you
It's
have.
a great story.
It entertains you.
It challenges you.
And it leaves you feeling hopeful.
It does.
So next time you see a bee buzzing around,
Yeah.
take a moment to appreciate it.
Remember, Barry?
And maybe you'll feel inspired to make a change.
A change in your own life.
That makes the world a little better.
For all of us.